Welcome! These are horse racing selections for Wednesday, the 12th of July. I am Flat Cap Callum and I'm hoping you are all very, very well. Alright, it's the start of the Flat Cap Callum week. We start on a Tuesday night. Monday's already happened. Most of Tuesdays happened for most people. I hope the start of the week has brought you love and fun and joy and all that sort of good stuff. What have I got in store for Wednesday's horses? I've got a £20 stake. It is 14 horses across 10 races. That is what we've got. Mainly focused in Ireland. I've got one UK based bet for the afternoon. But there's quite a few, 7 meetings in total. And there's, I think, 3 of them I got nothing at. So I've got nothing at Bath, nothing at Lingfield, and surprisingly for me, I've not even picked a horse at Kempton Park. So not a good meeting by Kempton standards from a value hunting perspective. So I've got nothing from any of those meetings. So mainly stacked on Fairyhouse, bit of Dundalk, and then I've got 2 Yarmouth, 2 Catterick. And the first race getting involved in 155 at Dundalk, which is not the race at Dundalk most people would look at first, but there's a horse in there that I think is a great price, even though it's only 9 to 1 to be fair. So that is coming up. I've got golf for this weekend. It's a bit of a quieter one this weekend, so all of the golf bets I've got for this weekend will be uploaded into the comments of this video within about half an hour of upload. But just to kind of give you a short overview, I've got, rather than the each way lucky 15 that I've been done the last kind of few weeks in the side market, I've only got a win Trixie side market bet for the Scottish Open. So top French, top Spanish, top Irish. There's only a few bookmakers that are paying out on the top Irish market. So kind of 365 Sky, there's some smaller ones as well. So it's a win Trixie in the side market for those. And then in the main tournaments, literally I've got a player in the Scottish Open, 1 player in the Barbasol Championship, and 1 player in the Champions Tour, which the name of the tournament escapes me. It begins with K, but sometimes you see it as Champions Tour. So I've actually got 3 players, 3 different tournaments, all single bets. Entirely up to you whether you want to then go and it's not a terrible idea to put them in a dreamy Trixie, each way Trixie at that. So up to you what you do with those. So that my golfing tips are all optional. Don't record them on the stats because you'll see I've written in terms of different bookmaker advisories for different bets. So that's those. I've got to do Sunday's recap, mention the comments on Monday and Tuesday, and then I'll get to Wednesday's bet. So I'll try and scamper through. What I would say as well is you always used to just do a bit of a recap for anyone who is new people join all the time. What I'm about here is finding value and the value in the betting market, and I find that in places that the majority of people, both casual punters and professional punters, would not really take a second look at. So I'm not about trying to find winners. I don't actively look for which horse is the best horse in the race I am, which has got the most chance of winning. I look for which horse has got the best value based on the betting market at the time of making the video. So the horse that I might pick at 11 o'clock at night on a Tuesday is not the same horse I might pick on Wednesday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Might be a different horse. I'd have a lean, but equally I've got a basement price I would take everything down to. So it's about trying to find value. So I'm not trying to find winners. I'm trying to find each way value at that as well. So the ideal here is we're looking for 4 horses to place each way at decent odds to get us a return. Some days we get winners in there as well, and in the golden kind of unicorn, if you like, Bahamas Day is hitting the 4 winners all at double figure prices and returning ourselves a multiple £1,000 bet, because we'll all stop the channel for a couple of weeks, whether you're a follower or whether you're me. We'll all go on holiday, not necessarily in the same hotel. It doesn't have to be the same hotel. You can have your own one, and if you really want to go to a different Caribbean island, you're very welcome to, but Bahamas Day is what it's coined on the channel, is the kind of that utopian ideal of a bet. In the meantime, we trundle along doing what we're doing, and we build ourselves a long-term profit. So it's not based on one big win will make or break what we're doing. This year it's been a bit like that. We've had one really, really good day, and without that day, we would probably be in. We would be in a slight minus figure. So that one good day. Last year we had a few more of those, so we're definitely due. It's been about 7.5 weeks since we had a really good one, so we're overdue statistically in terms of how I track from a performance point of view. Never owed, but we are due statistically. Just because we're due doesn't mean it's going to come anytime soon, but statistically we're overdue. Is how I would have it. Any questions you have about anything done on the channel, anything you want to know about more specifics about my selections, you can put it in the comments. I'll do my best to answer. I'm not always active in the comments, 24 hours a day. I've got a life outside of doing YouTube. This is not my full-time job. I'm not a full-time gambler. I've spent time of my life doing more gambling than not. Right now, I am very far away from a full-time gambler. Would I describe myself as a professional gambler? What's the definition of a professional gambler? People will tell you different things. Some people say you've got, do you earn a living wage off it? No, because I don't turn over enough cash to do that at the moment, out of choice. Do I make profit long term as a gambler? Yes, I do. So does that afford me to be able to do things in life? Yes, it does. So do I make money? Yes, I do. So therefore, some would say I am a professional gambler because I'm making money from it. It's more than a hobby. It's not my profession. That's what I'd say to you. I'm not here to tell you about the biggest wins I've ever had and that sort of stuff. All of the channel statistics are what I will talk to you about, and all of those are in the description of every single video. There's a breakdown of how we performed every single month. We have a running total for the month, we have a running total for the year, running total from the channel started, however long you want to look back at the stats. It's all there in the description of the channel. Do videos 5 days a week. Wednesday through to Saturday in terms of Wednesday through to Saturday selections. But do videos for Monday, Tuesday selections. And then they are different times of the day. So it's a Tuesday, Wednesday night, normally a Friday, Saturday morning, and then a Saturday night for Sunday. Those are when it does. Right. Those. That's the house notices. I'll get back to Sunday. Sunday weren't very good. Literally, it won't take me long to go through the thing. I won't even bother putting up the things. It was 15 on 276 back. I think it was 276. Tilsit placed. It was second. That was, I think it had a rule 4 in it as well. And that was it. There was nothing else that went well on that. So we got back a touch over a sixth of the stake that we put down, which unfortunately meant we did finish the week down by £12 last week, and we're now, our running total of July is minus £32. So we've got a bit of work to do in July. So we're just over a day and a half stake behind. So there are worse places to be. From where I look out on things and look across the tips the land, if you like, it doesn't feel like anybody else has had a great start to July. There may be one or two out there, but it feels like July so far has been a bit hard to come by kind of month. I'm hoping when we get to midpoint of July, the last couple of weeks, when we get a bit of a turn. Who knows, might have a turn for Wednesday. That'd be lovely. So yeah, that's where we're at with the stats. And then Monday, I put 3 horses in the comment. One was a non-runner, one was second at a decent price with a rule 4, I think, depending on when you put the bet on. And one was one out the placing, so not too bad. And then Wednesday, I put 4 in the comments and I only managed to get 1 place, albeit it was a decent price, about 20-25 to 1, third place. The others weren't so good, and one of those particularly, Jack Meister Rudy, fascinating, 25s into 6s, and given a ride like that, you can if everyone didn't watch the race, right, it's one of those ones where all the horses go out the stalls one way, that horse goes out the other way because it wants to get to the front. Now you can get away with that if you're Frankie Dettori and you're running on a mile and 6 furlongs over York and doing that to come around the front. You can't do that at Wolverhampton over basically a sprint distance. That's not going to cut it for you. So I'm not quite sure of how the jockey thought that was going to work out for them well, but basically took too much energy to get to the front and ultimately ran out of pace towards the end. And it happens sometimes when you see that, you think 25 to 1 into 6 to 1. Surely there's some money on that. It's going to be good. I don't know whose money it was on there apart from my own, but it wasn't very good. Okay, so that's those. Right, let's get cracking into Wednesday's bets. So 4 bets, 3 lucky 15s and a combination double. Starting here, half Dundalk, half Fairyhouse in terms of races. So we've got the 155 Dundalk. I really like that horse at that price. That's a cracking price. That horse for me should be top 2. It's a 7-runner race. That and Harry's Bar to me look like they are slightly above anything else from a handicap mark point of view. It's Dundalk. That horse is much better at Dundalk than it is on the turf. So Primo Umo 9-1. The watch out there is Sky 365 and Betfred are paying 3 places, so they make this bet much preferable. I'd absolutely back that horse 9-1, quarter of the odds, first 2, 100% I would. But personally, my money will be down at 365 or Betfred for that horse. I don't have Sky Bet accounts for outside of the channel. Sky Bet accounts solely for what I've done in the channel. It's purely to give you tracking odds. It is not representative of my actual betting stakes that I put down in real life. As in, it is my real money, but I do other things too. Just made it, not written a price down there. Hang on a second. I've done that the other day. Very annoying. And it's a particularly big one as well. So, right, get that in there. Different colour. Apologise, it's not very consistent. So, 425 Dundalk. I like that race, and I've gone for 2 in the race. Lily Like at 50s. I think it's an inconsistent horse, but well over the odds at 50s. So it could run an absolute duffer. It could get into the frame. And I'd say, you've probably got a 1 in 3 chance of it running a decent race. So on that basis, 50-1 is very, very big for that horse. Bluewood 18-1 is the second choice. 720 Fairyhouse Red Heel 10s. I've got a couple of more in that race in my next, one of my next bets. And then 820 Fairyhouse Sodeo 25-1. 2 times 10p each way, lucky 15s. Primo Umo, Lily Like, Red Heel, Sodeo is one bet. Primo Umo, Bluewood, Red Heel, Sodeo is the other bet. So 2 separate 10p each way, lucky 15s. What we've got there, £6 is the bet. And as I said, Sky are best because they're paying 5 on that one and 3 on that one. Everybody's 4 there and most of 5 there. 365. Same place terms as Sky, but they're only 4 there, and Betfred the same. So that is bet 1. £6 is your bet. Then my non-Irish bet. So if all you want to do is bet horses in the UK, this is my one and only bet for the day. 220 Yarmouth. I'm not a massive fan of the fact I think it's 15 runners and 4 places in that one. Adachi, I think I will say, it might be a Dace, I'm not sure. 16-1. The flag on that one is that I've put a little funny symbol over here because Betway, which I don't mention very often, are stand out at 5 places each way in that race. If you've got a Betway account, that's the race I'd be having a good look at. They're paying 5 places as long as there's 14 runners in there, so that you can afford 1 non-runner, 2 non-runners, they'll go down to 4 places. But that's particularly good. So well worth having a look. And if you've got the option to do singles, a day singles at Betway 16s, like 14s on Betway to be fair, it's a good bet. 340 Catterick. Now, for those of you who've been eagle-eyed in the comments, I put that it's gone. I've taken it off the comment. Well, moved it off the comments now. Gracious Anna, 14-1 on Sky. That was a standout 33-1 for 365 for about 90 minutes. So all bookmakers came in, 365 did not, and you could have got 33-1. So the comment I put up, 11 people liked it. I'm hoping a lot more people than that saw it. 33s was an unreal price. 14s, I'm happy with 14s because I think I'd have the horse more like 9-1, 8-1. So there's decent enough value in it at 14s, but 33s was cracking. No extra places on that race. 455 Yarmouth, Glory Hallelujah 20-1, and then the 545 Catterick Doomsday at 25-1. So for this one, it's a bit complicated. Sky and Unibet are the best bookmakers for this bet in terms of place terms. Betway are next best because they're offering you 5 there, although they're not as good as Sky and Unibet on a couple of the others. And if you've got none of those 3, 365 or Betfred would be your best place to put this bet on. Bet to £6 is your bet. 20p each way, lucky 15. All right, then 3 out of 4. The last lucky 15, all at Fairyhouse. 6.20. It's got quite a few runners in that race for paying 3 places, and that's 6.20. Quite like the betting structure. It's not amazing, but quite like it. But I think that horse, to me, I'd rank it third best. So I think at 25 to 1, it's worth chancing, even though we've got a big field and funny things happen in these inexperienced races. But Dance Night and Day 25 to 1, I think is a nice enough price. I would have that about 12s. 7.20 split that one. Lexington Dash at 20s. Prisoner's Dilemma at 33s. The watch out on that 7.20 is that 365 prices are wildly different at the time of making this video to other places. So if you go 365, you'll get, I think, 33s on that one and 20s on that one. And there's a whole bunch of others in that race that look all a bit skewy for 365. So just mindful of that when you play some 365 bets the night before. In the morning, it will level itself out a little bit. Then we've got 7.50 Miss Slovakia at 16s and 8.20 Epaulon at 16s. Sky is your best bet. Then 365 or Paddy are joint next best because they are the same place terms as Betfair or Unibet, but you'll get bog on the multiples, best price guaranteed on 365 and Paddy. So outside of Sky, 365 Paddy, then Betfair Unibet. 2 times 10p each way, lucky 15. So Dance Night and Day, Lexington Dash, Miss Slovakia and Epaulon. And the second one, Dance Night and Day, Prisoner's Dilemma, Miss Slovakia, Epaulon. 2 times 10p each way, lucky 15s. £6 is your bet, all at Fairyhouse. And finally, combo double for the day. One obvious race, one less obvious race. So I like this 4.25 Dundalk. So there is another Fairyhouse handicap 7.50 that's paying 5 places on quite a few bookies, but I preferred the 4.25 in terms of value. So 4.25 Dundalk, Lily Like at 50s and Bluewood at 18s, going on to the 8.20 Fairyhouse, Sodeo at 25s and Epaulon at 16s. 4 times 25p each way doubles, all in the bet slip. 4 of them, 25p each way, is £2 your bet. You want a best price guaranteed bookie because most are 4 and 5. So 365, Paddy, Betfred are the best 3 bookies because you'll get best price guaranteed in the morning. If you haven't got those and you just want to place the bet, you can get the same place terms, Sky, Betfair, Unibet or other bookmakers I would mention. Just to be clear, I mention them because I believe them to be the best. I actively do not have affiliations with any bookmakers at all. That's why I can freely talk about any bookmaker and say positive or negative about anyone I want. Like I would say, don't use your Coral account on Wednesday. Coral are pants for Wednesday. Don't use it. That's what I'd say to you. Likewise, that's why you don't see any links in anything I'm doing, in any of my description, any of my videos to say click through here and go into a bookmaker site. I'm not into that. I'm here to try and tell you how to navigate bookmakers, not here to promote bookmakers. So yeah, I know in the past there's been a few folk thinking that I earn a few bob off Sky. Why would Sky pay me to give out bets that are long-term profitable? They wouldn't, would they? That doesn't make any sense. So yes, in the short term, if you just watch for 3 weeks on this last 3 weeks, you go, well, you've lost, so surely you're losing. There are plenty, hundreds of people who would tell you different over long term following the channel. So yeah, it's super important to me to be not affiliated with bookmakers. As most of you know, I make a video for another YouTube channel on a Saturday, but that is something I do. That's a freelance contract I have there, but I can say whatever I want. What I don't do there is I make an active choice to not talk about bookmakers. It doesn't get complicated because they do have affiliates with bookmakers on that site. I'm not associated with those affiliates, so I can say it however I want it to say on this channel. All right, hopefully that is clear. I think that's what I got. So as I said, golf will all be in the comments within half an hour of upload this video. And yeah, I think that's what I got. I think that's me done for Tuesday night. All right, I'll be back again tomorrow for Thursday. And yeah, outlook for the week's Newmarket this week. So there's the July meet at Newmarket. So there is a couple of decent handicaps coming up this week. Question is, can we get some other races on the same day that's worth playing in to see if we've got a decent day as opposed to a couple of decent races. All right, that's me. See you tomorrow. Thank you very much. Bye bye.